Okay, friends, is the voice in your head, the little voice that whispers, ever whisper this little love bomb to you? You have no value, you have nothing to say, you have nothing to offer. Well, it certainly did. It was certainly one of my fears. When I started this content journey, it was one of my fears. And I want to share with you a little bit about how I cope with it. And it isn't, let me just tell you, it isn't, a thing that says find 90 different ways to do content on the internet. It's something deeper, isn't it? Because I think we're all under that impression. Everyone else is, they've got their crap together, they're doing well, they're successful, they know business, they know what they're talking about, all that kind of stuff. And we alone are the people who are wearing the mask, we're pretending, we are putting on a show, and we are waiting to be found out, as my lovely friend Kim Adele says. And we know what this is, it's imposter syndrome. It's well discussed, well talked about, well known, and it doesn't help us get our message out into the world because, the truth is, we all have skills, we all have experiences, we all have perspectives. If I think about my life, I ran a business for 20 years. I have written novels and novellas, and I've written a lot of stories, so I know about storytelling. And over this side is that I'm almost 50 years old. I'm a bit crinkly around the edges. I have experiences. I have made many mistakes, and of course, mistakes are valuable, particularly in storytelling. So the three things that I did that really unblocked me, and as I say, it's not about just finding, like an idea generator. It's about going deeper into yourself. Well, the first thing was to have a bit of humility, I think. There's this idea in our culture that if you want to teach about something, you automatically should have everything else in your life up together. And that's just not true, is it? I mean, what we're talking about doing here is fundamentally helping people. How can you help someone who doesn't know what you know? Because one of the other things is we all fail to value the thing that we find easy, right? So some people have said to me, it's easy for you to do the videos because you're just talking to the camera, you're not reading from a script, you sometimes verge on looking natural. And I tend to go, it's just talking into a camera, it's easy. But of course, it is something, it is a skill, it is valuable. And we all tend to devalue the stuff that comes easy to us, that we know about. So having a bit of humility really, really helps. That was really the first thing, just get over yourself. You don't have to be perfect. What you're just trying to do is just help someone. And that really helped me, because when I started to think about what do I know about storytelling and business that other people don't know, the ideas started to come. And the second thing is going after the pain, actually. I've talked in some of the Story Hacker stuff, I've talked about, quite personal, quite painful things because they relate to the thing that I'm trying to get across. And I think, again, if you can do that, if you can sort of be brave and talk about the times when you didn't do well, talk about the mistakes, talk about what you learned, you will automatically tell better stories. Because if you've seen those videos, a story is a character, a conflict and a consequence, and then the other things that go around that. And it's one of the reasons why so much corporate communication and business sort of communication doesn't really resonate, is because we feel like we have to always be projecting this mask that everything's going well, everything's fine. We're always on this upward trend. So humility, pain. And then the third thing that really helped me was thinking about this, not in terms of the initial results. So not in terms of how many people watch this, how many people like this, how many people comment, all that kind of, that mind sort of stuff that you do to yourself. What I decided to do in the first month of Story Hacker was to create a body of work. And if you look at the first 30 or so videos, you'll see that I was kind of laying a foundation. So I wasn't, and I'm still, you have to let go of the result and you have to focus on the work in front of you. It's quite a Taoist thing to say that, but the Tao talks about doing your work and stepping back. And what I wanted to do in that first month was create something that stood alone. And now I've got that. I've got that on Story Hacker. Whatever happens, I've got this block of content that is the basics of how to tell a good story, why it works in business. That's one of the playlists. And then, you know, a list of 21 odd techniques to help people tell better stories. And I've got that kind of foundation. And just having that idea that I was, you know, imagine I'm writing a book. What are the chapters? What are the topics? You know, and then making a video about each one of those really released me, because it stopped me worrying about, did anyone watch my video yesterday? Have they watched past the first 10 seconds? Do you see what I mean? It makes such a difference. And those three things, humility, going after the pain, and building a body of work, think about those three things, because they will really unlock the topics. Don't worry about being perfect. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the third fear, which is the fear that no one's watching. But that's also a good thing at the start, right? Because you have a chance to just do some stuff and see what happens. So anyway, that's me for today. That's fear number 2, the fear of having no value or having nothing to say. And if you like this video, please say so in the comments. If you've got a question, please ask in the comments, like the video. If you're on Story Hacker, subscribe. And find the Facebook page. This is, if you're not on the Facebook page, it's Nick X Warren, all one word, where I'm showing a lot of this stuff. Phil Argent and I are doing this this experiment out loud, where we build an audience on Facebook. Anyway, see you in the next video.